Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be recapping Blankety Blank Season 4, Episode 8, which was originally released on the 7th of June 2025. And I'm recording this episode less than a week later on the 13th of June 2025. Before I talk any more about Blankety Blank, I need to correct something I said. Now, I said that the first episode of the day comes out at 12 AM GMT and the second episode comes out at 4 PM GMT. Now, that's not quite right. It comes out at 12 PM UK time, which is 11 AM GMT, and the second episode comes out at 3 PM GMT, which is 4 PM UK time. I got confused. So just to remind you, the first episode of the day of the podcast drops at 11 AM GMT, and the second episode drops at 3 PM GMT. Now, every day, pretty much, one of the shorts that Matt creates, or multiple of them, because he does 2 for each episode, I believe, we'll say that in it anyway. So me kind of getting it wrong in one episode isn't the end of the world, but just to kind of, if you're thinking, oh, that's not quite right, that's why, my fault, I apologise. But now back to Blankety Blank now. Before I get on to my recap of this episode, please go and check out the Blankety Blank playlist, which you should also be able to see at the end of this episode, which contains obviously all the recaps from Blankety Blank Season 4, so you kind of know what to expect. But without further ado, here is my recap of Blankety Blank Season 4, Episode 8. We start off with the Blankety Blank title sequence. This episode's celebrity panel is unveiled. Bradley is introduced. Bradley talks to this episode's celebrity panel. John mentions presenting the One Show with Angela. Angela insults John. Bradley mentions ghosts. Kyle mentions hosting the Great British Sewing Bee. Rusty mentions having Jenny's phone number. Jenny and Bradley mention 1986. Tom reveals he's worked with everyone on the panel apart from Rusty. Tom mentions Joe Braddon Bake Off an Extra Slice. Irene and Ross introduce themselves. Irene reveals her dream prize. Bradley mentions Rusty's appearance in this episode. Bradley believes Ross's hometown is one of the smallest villages in the UK. Ross mentions Tom appearing at his local theatre. Ross lies to Tom. Ross reveals his dream prize. Ross insults the prizes offered on Blankety Blank. Bradley explains how Blankety Blank works. Bradley reveals this round's prize. Tom insults this prize. Irene plays Blankety Blank and scores 0 points. Rusty asks Bradley to repeat this question. Irene annoys Bradley. The studio audience also annoys Bradley. Ross plays Blankety Blank and scores 0 points. Bradley struggles to read this question. Ross helps John decide on an answer for this question. Ross plays Blankety Blank again and scores 0 points. Irene plays Blankety Blank again and scores 0 points. Bradley reminds Irene she only needs to get 1 point to win the round. Kyle apologises to Bradley. Bradley destroys the question card. The tiebreaker siren sounds. Bradley explains how the tiebreaker works. Irene and Ross play the tiebreaker. Irene wins. Bradley apologises to Ross. Ross leaves with a Blankety Blank checkbook and pen. Irene plays her super match with assistance from Angela, John and Rusty. Bradley insults the public. Irene mentions living in the middle of a city. Irene misunderstands this round. Irene apologises to Angela. Irene wins £750. Dion and Joe introduce themselves. Dion reveals his dream prize. Bradley doesn't understand what Dion's dream prize is. Bradley mentions the difficulty of Blankety Blank. Joe tells a story. Tom questions the circumstances surrounding Joe's departure from nursing. Bradley reveals this round's prize. Dion plays Blankety Blank and scores 0 points. John pranks Dion. Joe plays Blankety Blank and scores 0 points. Joe plays Blankety Blank again and scores 3 points. Dion plays Blankety Blank again and scores 0 points. Dion asks Bradley to repeat this question. Dion mentions the chase. Bradley apologises to Dion. Dion leaves with the Blankety Blank checkbook and pen. Joe plays her super match with assistance from Rusty, Angela and John. Joe wins £750. Irene returns. Bradley explains how the head-to-head works. Bradley reveals this episode's top prize. Irene and Joe play this episode's head-to-head. Joe wins this episode's head-to-head. Irene leaves with £750 and a Blankety Blank checkbook and pen. Joe and Bradley swap places. Bradley explains how the final works. Joe plays this episode's final with Rusty. Joe wins this episode's top prize as well as £750 and a Blankety Blank checkbook and pen. And Bradley says goodbye to this episode's celebrity panel. That is my recap of Blankety Blank Season 4 Episode 8. Now in this afternoon's episode I will be recapping the 11th Doctor Chronicles Geronimo the House of Masks. Now you might think, oh Geronimo, I've heard that name. Yes, that's because I've already recapped the first story from the 11th Doctor Chronicles Geronimo, that being in The Inheritance, which only came out a few days ago. So go and check that out if you haven't already. But without further ado, here's the trailer for the 11th Doctor Chronicles Geronimo.
From Big Finish Productions.
Hi?
Hello! If you just used a plasma cutter...
How did you know I was
Excellent. I'm going to assume from your general look of surprise that's a yes. Can I borrow it?
Sorry, what? Who are you?
I'm the Doctor, and this is a bomb.
Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Chronicles, Geronimo.
Welcome aboard, Valerie.
This is Earth!
Oh, you bet it's Earth. Venice in the 18th century.
His name is Captain Tomasi, and he has made his desires in this matter quite clear. I am to die before the clocks strike midnight.
You've met him?
Oh yeah, tried to convince me to kill Lady Secure.
What did you say?
Oh, you know. Hi, Captain Stranger. I'd love to murder a woman I'd never met for you. I'm such a big old psychopath. What do you think I said?
No?
Obviously no.
Two Hearts?
He's a Time Lord.
I thought they were all dead.
They will be if you don't help him.
Get the door closed! They're in the mechanism!
Luna! What the... Where did it go? What was that thing?
She's about to be obliterated with a very loud bang.
Any chance we could not explode?
Oh, yeah, we'll be not exploding all the way till boom time.
That's not what I meant!
You need to understand, if you do anything that endangers my ship or crew, we are going to have a very serious problem.
Likewise, Captain. Which should worry you, because right now my crew is over there dying, and you're standing in my way.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
I found her, Doctor. I found Clara Oswald.
That was the trailer for the 11th Doctor Chronicles Geronimo. And I showed you that because in this afternoon's episode, I'll be recapping the 11th Doctor Chronicles Geronimo, The House of Masks. But back to this episode, let me know what you thought of Blankety Blank Season 4 Episode 8 if you watched it. My recap if you didn't, put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below. As well as anything else you want to cover the channel, such as any previews or recaps, put those in the comments below as well. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you 3 PM GMT today for my recap of the 11th Doctor Chronicles Geronimo, The House of Masks. See you then. Goodbye.